Hello, everybody. We're live. Thanks for stopping by. My name's Jesse, and welcome. Thought I'd do something a little bit different today. I thought I would basically um, do a live stream of feeding my fish room, so you can all see what it's like to feed my fish room every day. We're going to be feeding some fresh vegetables. We're going to be feeding just some pellets. We're going to be feeding some frozen foods. We'll feed everything, and you guys can get a little bit better, I guess, up close look at some of my tanks that I probably just don't feature very often. So stay tuned, and we're going to hook the phone camera up, and we'll go around. I have a mic on it as well. Hopefully it's good. My tests look good. Just so you all know, what I do use actually quite a nice microphone. Nicole got this for me for Christmas, and it's a Yeti microphone, and as you can see, it works really well. So yeah, it's kind of neat. That was a bit of an upgrade to doing live streams. That's essentially all I use it for. I use it for some voiceover stuff, but I have a microphone for my phone as well. So yeah, I get mic'd out everywhere, and I do notice it makes a big difference in sound quality compared to your computer microphone or your phone microphone. And an external microphone with some noise dampening on it is what really does help out. Hello, Anthony, fishy friends. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Aquaballs, hello. Not much going on, Aquaballs. Thought I'd do a live stream today, seeing as really a lot of us don't have a whole lot better to do right now, as the world has quickly been changing for us all right now. And until things get back to normal, I'm going to be at home a lot more. So it's going to be a lot more fish stuff going on around here that I'm going to share with you all too. So yeah, I got some neat stuff going on in here today. I've done water changes on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks today. I've done water changes, and some were big filter cleanings and everything else. And I did water change. I did a water change on the 55-gallon rainbow tank today as well. So yeah, I'm taking advantage of this bit of time I have. I'm not proud to say that actually our Ontario government has considered me an essential service, believe it or not. Flooring renovations is an essential service apparently in Ontario. So I may still have to go out and work, but right now the one bonus I do have is I am self-employed. So if I'm not comfortable going into a customer's house or working at a customer's house, then I'm not going to do so. I have that choice being self-employed, and since last week, I've had a bit of a cold. I've had a head cold. It's not. I don't think it's anything serious. It is just a head cold. I'm not even coughing. It's back. Sorry about that. I don't know. The internet's a bit funky here today. But yeah, I probably sound a little bit stuffed up too. So I'm not going in any customers' houses right now until this head cold's at least gone, and then we'll go from there. So I hope everybody's out there being safe, doing what you're. And I'm not the guy that normally says this. I normally don't say shit, but doing what your government tells you to do. I guess that's what we're all supposed to be doing right now. I never thought I'd say that, but that's what we're doing. So we're ready today. I got my Bailey's and coffee with a Christmas mug. So today I'm sporting my club shirt in support of the Brass Club, the Barrie Regional Aquarium Society of Simcoe. That's what I'm supporting. And yeah, we're gonna get on to some fish feeding here. Thing I do gotta do here, guys, I gotta set my iPad up so I can actually see what's happening in real time. My computer really lags. See who all we got in, what's going on. Turn that right down. Sorry, I'm technologically not advanced, so this stuff takes time. There and there. Okay, so we got a couple of thumbs up and a couple of people watching. So hopefully we get watching. And again, I hope you are all safe and healthy where you are all at. This may be the only this might be the only way we can communicate coming up here very shortly. This is physical distancing now. Now that's what it's called. It's physical distancing. Aquaballs. I want to go to a local fish store, but last time everyone was wearing a mask. Yeah, I don't know, man. If I can get away with not going not going anywhere essentially right now, that's what I'm doing. So I don't know if anybody watched, but check out that I did a video yesterday on making your own food, your own fish food. Give it a try. Not just trying to sell it right now or anything like that. Sell the video or anything. Get home. If you run out of fish food and you don't want to go to the local store, this makes a good amount of fish food that will last you quite some time. So at some point maybe I'll get a link up here to that video, but I never mentioned it in the video, and because I didn't want to. I don't want the video in a year to be about this bullshit we're going through right now. I want my videos to still be about fish keeping and learning and offering other people some advice and knowledge that I may have gained through this hobby, the years in this hobby. So I didn't want it mentioned in the video, but I am mentioning it right now, that if anybody gets stuck for quality fish food and you have some ingredients at home and you can mix those ingredients up however you want, watch the video I did yesterday on making your own homemade fish food, because it will help you out a lot if you can't get out. So with that being said, I've gone ahead and I've got some food ready for feeding fish today. Yes, people, that is a full plate, or if you can see it better, of zucchini. Lots of big pieces, small pieces, and all kinds of pieces, because we have a lot of Ancestrus and other types of plecos here that truly do enjoy eating zucchini. So yeah, that is 2 full zucchinis cut up, and that is for a 1-day feeding. So this I feed zucchini about every 3 days. So yeah, I go through about 10 zucchini a week, I guess is what I'm saying. In the summertime, I have started to grow my own zucchini, so I don't actually have to purchase it all the time. And you can, when you do grow your own zucchini, you can grow them much larger than what you buy at the store, and they last a bit longer. But yeah, I generally go to Costco to get my zucchinis, and I buy them about 10 at a time in the packages they're coming in. So I'm going to get the other camera set up, which it is essentially already set up. I just have to go and put the microphone on and pick it up. So I'm going to get that set up, and we're going to start with the multifascius. We're going to start with feeding them, and they do not get zucchini because they don't care about zucchini. They care about bugs and stuff. So we're going to give them a feeding of mist shrimps. Excuse me. They do like these mist shrimps. They come in little cubes. I don't generally give them an entire cube because they don't eat enough to need an entire cube. But I will give them most of the cube, and we'll give the rest of the cube to somebody else. So I'm just going to cut off a little bit of it here, and actually I'll just swish it in the water when I'm there like a normal. I'll show you exactly how I do it. So give me 1 sec. I'm going to set up the other camera. I'll go grab it. So this microphone actually is not wireless. It's wired. But it works pretty good for a cheap microphone. I believe I purchased it for about $30 on Amazon. Aqua balls. I just ordered my food. That won't last me an entire year. I'll show you guys. I order the big bags of Northfin. I have a couple there. I think they're 2.5 kilograms, so they're like 6. And not a year, not a year at all. And I have a couple of them, but that's what we really should be doing right now, because who knows when we'll be able to get food again. Another issue, I don't know if anybody has come across it yet, is dog food. We've Roscoe, our Burmese mountain dog pup, we've been feeding him like the expensive Costco brand, like the Kirkland Wild Domain or whatever it is. It's salmon and rice and all that. Can't get it right now. Can't get it at all. We've actually had to switch his food because we can't get his food right now. So we're trying Iams for now, Iams puppy, just because that's all we can get right now. But we really didn't want to have to start switching foods around and stuff. But that's what we've had to do. So that kind of sucks, but whatever. We'll deal with it. But let's get on to feeding some fish. So I'm gonna put me in the stream here. There we go. We're in the stream, so let's turn that mic on. Turn that mic off. 1 sec. How's that? Is that better? I would assume that's good now. So anyways, this is the feeding cam. I'm actually going to put, there we go. We got the feeding cam. Set up perfect. So let's do this. So this is my 29-gallon multifascious tank. There is a few little babies down over here. A lot of shells, a lot of fish. There's quite a few in there, and I've sold quite a few this year. But this colony just keeps itself going steady, absolutely steady. So let's give them some mist shrimps. We forgot to bring those with us. So just a little cube. And then I literally just swish it until they start coming off. As they de-thaw, they come off. And that's probably plenty for them. The rest, We're just gonna go right there into the Pleco grow out tank, and we'll get there next. Let's watch these guys. They do enjoy them. Sorry about the glare. See if any of the little wee fellows come out to. Oh, here's some. Come out to enjoy. I like watching the little wee guys eat. I don't know if you guys can see them there. I think you can. There's a few there. A couple over here too. There's one. But yeah, these guys make quick work of that. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting tank. I love this tank. They just get along. And I found the best way to get along is, we'll step back a bit. Whoops. The best way to get along is put something right in the center of the tank to block the tank into two sections. If you do that, everybody will get along. It seems everybody will be on one side of the fence or the other side of the fence. And if you don't get along with someone on one side of the fence, they'll generally move to the other. So that is some success I found in maintaining a multi-colony. And I probably sell about 100 fish out of this tank a year. Not saying I make a whole lot of money out of it, but I really enjoy keeping these guys, and that's why I keep them for the most part. Not necessarily the money. They're just really neat fish to watch them move their shells around and everything. So that's the Maltese. Next, we're coming to this behemoth. This is a 90-gallon Pleco grow-out tank. It's all ancestrous, long fins, short fins, green dragons, albinos, pineapples. There's just about everything in here. And it doesn't look like many fish right now when you're looking at it. They're all spread out all over the place. There's a log in there, whatnot. I keep it very bare, very not much in there, because I'm always catching fish out of here, because once they grow out in this tank, they generally go to someone else's house or a local fish store. So I like to keep it easy enough to maintain. This gets water change almost daily. It got about 20% water change today, in fact. Got another 20% yesterday. Here are some newborn ancestrous fry. These guys are very, very new. They're not very old at all. And they are already eating some of my homemade food right there. We will give them something else as well here today as well. So let's get the Pleco food ready. There we go. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, I do have a lot of Maltese, and they breed like absolutely crazy in that tank, and they just seem to maintain. I take out that it doesn't get overcrowded, and honestly, with 2 sponge filters running in that tank, it requires very, very little maintenance. I don't run the light a lot in that tank, so it doesn't get a huge algae buildup or anything. And it just kind of, a little 25% water change once every week and a half, and they get just straight tap water, which is a pH of 8.2. It's very high pH here, very, very hard water. So yeah, they look after themselves. A lot of the tanks, I try to keep it like that, just because I do have so many tanks. Hello, Raoul. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. I don't know what you caught so far. So far, we've only fed 1 tank, so we haven't really got that far, so you haven't missed a whole lot. I hope you're staying safe. So do you have multis and similes, or you have two types of multis? Is this what you're saying? I will wait for this answer because I would like to know. But while we're waiting for this answer, this is what we're putting in the 90-gallon tank with the Ancestress, and they will get all over this pretty quickly. I think you will all be surprised how quick they go. This is just raw zucchini, and I have a stable of forks here. I essentially put it on a fork, and we're going to sink it into the tank. Oops. So both, yes. So similes and multis, I assume you're saying. Now, I don't know, do you keep them together in the same tank, or do you keep them separated? Because I would assume they would interbreed. I'll look for your answer here when I come back. But we're gonna get back on the feeding cam, and we're going to feed the Ancestress grow tank. So I hope everybody can hear me. We're back on this one. We have audio. So yeah, I don't know if you guys got much of a layout here. So we're sitting here. There's my webcam on the pole. We're sitting here. You guys are facing this way with the other camera. And the room, this section of the room just goes to there. And that's where we're heading, is that tank right there. So again, I simply take it, drop it in, get a towel. Always keep a towel hanging so I can dry off. And yeah, as soon as they realize that that's in there, they will flock to it. One already found it. He came from almost the other side of the tank for it. But we'll leave that for literally like 2 minutes and come back, and you guys will see how many fish are actually in this tank. So I guess we will we'll start on the bottom on this rack here. So this tank here, this is another grow out tank. This is a 65-gallon cichlid grow out tank. So what I have in here is Mapenga travassis. There's one there, like he's almost got adult color now. He'll go completely burnt orange when he's an adult, but that's a male. And I have Hotmore Eyes blue dolphins right there. They're getting to be good size. And I have albino erratices in here as well. They're a little bit smaller. Some of them are a little bit better size. So yeah, those are the three kinds of fish that I'm growing out in this tank. But I do also have some other fish in this tank as well. And I have some longfin Ancestress in this tank. They have bred for me in this tank before, but there's one on the filter. There's one under that bottom of that castle. There's one inside it. I seen an albino over here. Yep, there's a little albino there. I'd say there's about 6 of them in here in total. There's another one on that side of the filter. So I do have quite a few. So we do feed zucchini to this tank as well. And it looks like I have not retrieved the fork. So we'll get the zucchini for this one. We got it. So there's one other Plucko in this tank, and this is the big fella that I don't really know what he is. He came with a tank and wasn't well looked after. I don't think anybody really cared for him that well who had him. So Yeah, I don't know what the scoop is with him, but he's in here now. He's about 6 or 7 inches. He's kind of neat looking, but he doesn't come out very often. So that's how long we've been on that. And here's the zucchini now. Everybody's starting to flock to it. There's a baby. It's already got horns. But everybody will start flocking to it, and soon there won't be an available inch on that zucchini. We've been blessed with Gizmo's presence. She's down checking us out now. Hello. Yeah, so the other thing I'm going to feed that tank, because obviously I'm not just going to feed zucchini to that tank, although those hello Zen Ginger. How are you? Thanks for coming out. Right? That's what happens to zucchini when we put it in incestuous tanks when they're used to eating zucchini. And those guys have been eating really good the last couple of days. They're probably not even hungry, and that's the way they're going at it. But anyways, yeah. So for the rest of the 65-gallon tank here, I'm going to very simply. I use. I'll get it for you. Easier to tell you than to try and explain it. So as I was saying earlier, I buy very large bags of fish food as well. I think this is 2.5 kilogram of veggie cichlid. So I put this into a pepper mill and I grind it up for a lot of my fry, and that gives all different sizes of food, and they lap it up. So I will find my pepper mill wherever it is, because it disappears all the time. It's around here somewhere, but I'll find my pepper mill and we will give them a feed. Whoops, we're caught. Okay, so here's the pepper mill. That's very simply all it is. I loosen it up for the bigger fish, and that way it comes out with a lot bigger chunks for them. Because as you can see, oh, there's the big fella. He came out, the big pleco. And as you can see, the cichlids go at the zucchini as well, but it is mainly in here for the plecos. There's the big boy. He's hungry. He wants some zucchini. He's going to push all those plecos. But is he not a weird color? I think he is mad. He doesn't like getting his pictures. So we're going to feed everybody here, and they'll leave him alone. So essentially, I'm giving it about, about 30 turns for these guys. They eat quite a bit. I feed them quite heavily because I'm trying to grow them out. There's what we end up with. And it's an absolute feeding frenzy. They go nuts. And there's properly sized pieces for everybody. So yeah, there is getting to be quite a few fish in this tank too. All these fish will be sold. They're just here temporary. And I've actually pretty much stopped breeding cichlids. I have not been collecting mouthfuls for a while now. I don't have any more fry rearing to go into this tank. I will probably switch this over to a shrimp tank once these guys are all reared out. And there's one, baby Geo. I don't know if you guys can see him there. I don't know if I can zoom in on this. Oh, I can. There's a baby Geo. Oh, get out of the way. Where'd he go? There he is. One baby Geo. That's Geophagus tapajos. And you will see the parents in a bit. But yeah, that's the 65-gallon tank. Like I said, just a cichlid grow out tank. So we come up the rack, that's on the bottom. And this is a 20-gallon long. This tank houses a bunch of baby cribs. I've already sold the parents. These guys will be sold when they come up to size. And I would really like to make this zebra pleco tank, an L46 tank. That's what I plan on doing with this. But until these guys are reared up and moved out, it's their tank. So they get essentially the very same food. Actually, heck, it's we're doing a feeding. They can get some mist shrimps too. They would probably truly enjoy them. But they only need about a half a pack as well. So we're gonna actually feed these guys, and we're gonna feed the Emica splendens at the same time. The Emica splendens are on the top rack up here. Now, I don't know how well the video is with that light. Let's block that light a bit. I use pieces of ease troughing for that. Makes doing videos a little bit easier if you can diffuse light. There we go. That's better. But this is my Emica splendens. That's just a whole pile of Christmas moss in there. And so I acquired 3 of these guys at an auction. Those 2 right there. And there's one there. There's a third large one. And then I got some that were actually quite a bit smaller than this. They've grown out a lot. And some at the back of the tank there, if you can see. From a friend of mine at my local club. He's been breeding them for years and years and years. So he gave me a pile of them to put in here. And there is a pile in. I keep this moss in just for if and when they do decide to breed. The babies have somewhere to hide. Although I have been told that they do not eat their young. But this will give their young some additional food to eat as well. Because these guys, I do believe, are primarily vegetable eaters as well. Plant eaters. But they do like some bugs too. So we're going to feed them and the cribs at the same time here. Starting to de-thaw a bit. So here's the cribs. I don't know how old these guys are. I really don't remember. I could look back at my videos and tell you, but they'd be a couple months old. And that will keep them happy for the rest of the day. They've already been fed once this morning as well. I try to feed my fries at least twice a day. Give me 1 sec, guys. I just got to move that ease troughing to feed them. There we go. So I've put that ease trough back up. We can see them. There they go. Now in this tank as well, I may have to get my trusty stool, but there is some really nice young longfin ancestress in here growing out. There's one at the back there. Back behind that cave. So there's a few of them in here growing out as well. They're hopefully going to be part of future breeding programs. That's why I've put them in here. cribs are neat. They have such big mouths. They can eat such big pieces of food compared to the size of them. None of the plecos have come out here yet except for the big guy. He's just pushing everything around right now. And everybody else has got everything all stirred up in here. This tank does get stirred up easy. It did get a water change today, even though you wouldn't know it. And there's one of the long fins right there. Still a little bit of real estate left on the zucchini in here. But everybody's hit. And those few mist shrimps I threw in here, they're pretty much gone. The rest of them are eating that in here. That's pretty neat how much they go after the zucchini. So there you go. That's a few of our tanks, and I guess next what we will do is that tank right there, 65 gallon tall. That's got my Paracet nigrinus in it, a few escapee Maltese that are not supposed to be in it. What else is in there? There's a Julie in there, one Julie, and some green dragon plecos in there. So we'll feed that tank next. They're going to get the mist shrimps, and they're also going to get zucchini for the plecos in there. So we'll just get things ready here. Oh, our mist shrimps are starting to defrost. Yeah, getting kind of yucky in here. We use a knife. I usually feed them as frozen cubes. It's easier. There we got a big chunk of that. Got a big chunk of zucchini. Bring the feeding cam back in. Shut this one off. So this tank, like I said, it's got a flurry of activity in it. I have had my Paracet spawn in this tank. I don't see any mouthfuls right now, but we did just do a water change, so quite frankly, they may go tonight. Those are my Paracets. There's the Julie, and there's one of the Maltese. These Maltese I've been trying to get out of here forever. They just don't leave. They just keep reproducing. The more I catch out of here, the more come back in. So let's give them these mist shrimps. There's a little wee baby pleco right there. They're not too interested in eating, to be honest with you. Not sure why. Oh, they're starting. They're maybe camera shy because we're down here watching them. And we'll get a fork and do the zucchini. Well, these guys, I believe there's 6 adult ancestress in here. So that will be enough for them, and they will get at that soon enough. But yeah, this is another neat little tank. What I really like about it is that moss that just, it's stuck on its own and it's growing off the log back there, which is a hard water tank. It's so hard to get grow in the middle. So that was really neat that just kind of happened all on its own. So next we're gonna feed these guys, and I'm gonna get my step stool for this. This is one of my handiest items I have here. So this is my main long fin ancestris breeding tank. Even though I'm looking at a short fin right there, that female's got to come out. But this is a very, very prolific tank. There's lots of beautiful fish in here, and they love zucchini. They may not come out instantly to eat it, but by the time we get through the rest of these tanks, they will be out in full force having a look at it. Whoops. Sorry, everybody. So we'll come back in a couple minutes and maybe we'll be able to see these big boys come out. They got some pretty impressive horns on them. So for right here, everybody's been fed except for this tank on this rack. And this is a Black King Kong Shadow Panda tank. It's a couple Shadow Pandas, not a lot, but a few Black King Kongs. They're very hard to see. Extreme amount of cover grass in here. It's only when they're not in the grass you can see them. There's one back by the filter on the ground. I don't know if it'd focus in enough for that. One on top of the filter. So there is quite a few in here, like I said, but they're very, very, very well camouflaged because of how much cover grass there is in this tank. So many places to hide. I think there's about a dozen in here, but we'll never see them all at once. So I fed them pretty high protein for the last couple of days. So for today, what they're going to get is this stuff. It's basically a soy food. This is what all my shrimp are going to get today. And several of them here, but these tanks, once we get over here, are on water change day and are about to get a water change. So there's not a lot of shrimp in here, so I don't put a lot of this stuff in. Just a little wee piece. I literally do that. Drop it within a couple of seconds, it'll sink. Oop. And then you'll see a cluster of shrimp and snails there eventually. So while we have the shrimp food out, let's talk shrimp. So I've taken out all the water lettuce of this tank and I put a few pieces back in. It was getting overloaded. You can see the filter's all screwed up there because this is water change day. It's getting a water change. I cleaned it all up. Looks really nice and bright now. And these are all my red and black King Kong Caridina shrimp. And we'll give them a couple pieces because there's so many shrimp in here. In a log, but this stuff explodes when it opens up in a couple of minutes as food. It actually creates a lot of food, so we'll let them get at that. This tank here, same thing, just took out a whole whack of water lettuce, just leaving a few pieces in, and it's even a little bit cloudy still because I had to replant some plants and stuff. It's a jungle in here, but this is my crystal red Caridina tank. I have some absolutely beautiful shrimp in this tank, and there's a lot. There's over 100 shrimp in this tank, way over 100. So we'll feed them a couple pieces of this as well. And those will explode in a second. And I haven't got at the duckweed or the water lettuce in this tank. But this is on the very bottom shelf, and this is my Blue Bolt tank. And that should be enough for them. Oh, Gizmo's coming over to say hi. Sounds like I have a kid doing gymnastics in the living room right now above us. Now, many of you should recognize this tank. This is the tank that we did together on YouTube. I have not touched it. I've not done a darn thing to it. It's just kind of coming along all on its own. And everybody that we put in looks nice and healthy and happy. They're all pretty much out and about here. So yeah, neat looking tank. You guys did a great job of it. So I will clean it up a little bit shortly. I was just letting it kind of just do its own thing and basically just feeding them. There's not many shrimp in this tank, so we're just going to put that one little piece in, and we'll sink, and we'll come back and see if they all get on it. I can tell you they've already gotten on this one beside it, the Blue Bolts. And many more will come. Many, many more. And that's how much it explodes. I do have a few green dragon ancestors in these tanks as well. So we have one more shrimp tank here that we will look at. As you can see, it's in dire need of some help. It needs a full clean out. Now this tank has some reds in it, just cherries, cherry shrimp. Right there's one. There's a couple up there. But yeah, it needs a water change today too. The water lettuce thinned out, but there's a lot of green dragon plecos in here. I've been growing them out in here quite a bit. So this tank actually gets quite a bit more food than the rest, and they've already been fed today, but we'll give them that there. Hello. Hello. Whew. I need to drink coffee. Yeah, we oh, I gotta turn stuff down here. We sorry, I was getting an echo. Still getting an echo. So yeah, I use a lot of breeding boxes. This is driving me nuts. Listen to this echo here. I don't know why. But anyways, I gotta get this away from me. Okay. Yeah, I use a lot of breeding boxes, aqua balls, a lot of breeding boxes, because it's just the best way to keep them in a small spot. And I don't know why this is echoing on me, guys. I wonder if it is now. If it's still echoing. Give me 1 second. That drives me nuts if I can hear echoing, and I'm sure you guys can in the microphone as well. But yeah, I like using the breeding boxes, especially for the young ancestress, because it keeps them in a very small spot, and that way they can get food right to them. They get food put right in front of their faces, and they don't have to go searching for it, because quite frankly, I don't think they're that bright at that stage. And the more food you can get to them right in front of their face, the better. And I've noticed my survival rates since I do things that way have improved tenfold. I've done quite a few videos on raising ancestress, and that, to me, I've tried every way. I've been doing this a long time. I've tried every way, and so far my way is the best way I've developed into. It took a while to get there, but it works well. Yes, it is. It's coming along. It's coming along great. Um, Considering, like I said, I haven't touched it. I feed them. That's it. It's going to get a water change today or tomorrow. But yeah, it is looking great. It'll be neat to see how it does mature out more. If you want to put the link up there, Zen Ginger, for the live stream that we did that tank, for anybody that may be here that didn't catch that and doesn't know what the hell we're talking about, they can check that out. Well, that's what we do. We make fish caves. We actually sell all these fish caves too. So I sell the slate caves. I sell the wooden caves. I make all different kinds of caves. You can go on our website is www.janaquariumsupply.com and see all the caves that we do offer. I don't know. I don't think so. I never have. I never have shipped plants to the US. I can ship them wherever I want in Canada, but I'm not sure. I'll actually have to look into that, Zen Ginger, because I have had a lot of requests for people wanting plants in the States. I can't see it being that hard to do. I would imagine plants would go pretty easy for the most common plants. Yeah, when it comes to raising babies, I think you were still talking about the breeder boxes. When it comes to raising babies, if you can get food right in front of their face, they're so much better for it. Yeah, yeah, I think it was. I did a couple of shrimp nooners, but I think that was the one. Yes, thank you, Zen Ginger. I appreciate it. I do. I gotta piss everybody right off here. I probably threw out $200 worth of water lettuce today. Just with all this lockdown and stuff, I generally supply the local fish stores around here with water lettuce and whatnot. I am overrun. My tanks were overrun. I literally threw out almost a garbage bag of water lettuce today just because I just have too much and I can't do nothing with it when we're shut. Oh, I think we're back. Cool. Sorry guys, I don't know, my internet was not being cooperative. Okay. Well, there you go. If you're in the States and you need plants and Yeah, you don't want to go through the nonsense of trying to get them from Canada to you. By all means, shop locally. That's what I say. Shop locally right now. That's but I think obviously some sales are going to have to come in the near future, and the way I see it is make sure we're still on here. Yep. The way I see it is I'm just going to start stockpiling what I can, and then when we're allowed to do stuff, people will probably need quite a bit. Okay, let's keep this train moving. That's crazy. Everybody should have water lettuce. Nobody should live life without water lettuce if you own an aquarium. Just saying. Wait till we get to a couple more of my tanks here, and we'll show water lettuce. Water lettuce is like your fish tank's natural defense against everything that's bad for your fish. That's bottom line. I in those shrimp tanks we just looked at, I trim all that water lettuce roots. They were actually rooted right into the substrate underneath. Uh, water lettuce, yeah, it eats so much bad shit out of your tanks. It's not funny. That's yeah. All my shrimp tanks always have some water lettuce in it, and I usually have duckweed in most tanks too. Um, Either duckweed or water lettuce, whatever grows better in them, and they help my fish out immensely. So let's do the little guys. Let's do the little guys. I've been having some fun around here lately. I have I gotta change my plan. We're gonna do the 55-gallon tank because the fish I'm gonna show you next came out of the 55-gallon tank. I bred them, and they're little wee baby barbs. But we'll feed the parents first. So let's do them right now. 55-gallon tank. Put this back in the show. Okay. Take this out of the show. Find the knife, whatever I did with it. Thought I brought it over here. This is the battle's real, people. This is everyday life here. I can't find shit. I set stuff down. It's gone. But, oh, there it is. It fell. I knew I had it over here. So let's get. I say we. 1 sec. Gonna set the camera down. We're gonna do this one a bit different. Struggle's real, folks. All right. These guys will eat absolutely everything I put in here. They're gluttonous. So what I've done to this tank lately, put a new light on it. And these are my tiger barbs, my Odessa barbs, and my New Guinea red rainbows. It's quite a beautiful group I have of red rainbows. There's 12 of them, and I'm hoping there's some babies of them in the fry tank as well. As well, I breed short fin ancestress in here as well. I have albinos. I just took his babies away from him, so he hasn't come out of that cave yet. But yeah, we got a few caves in here. But let's feed these barbs and these rainbows first, and then we'll get to the plecos. I'm just gonna squeeze it, trying to squeeze it right out of the packs there. There we go. There's lots of food. Giz is coming in on the action too. They're pigs. They're absolute pigs. They will eat every last piece. And any that actually hits the bottom, I'm just scanning right now for. I have a horse-faced loach in here as well. He should poke his head up just about any time, I would assume, for something to eat. He buries under the sand. You never know where he is. Some days he's out all the time. Some days you don't see him. That's how those gluttons go after things. And it looks like we got female barbs with great big full bellies ready to breed again. But we only do it once in a while. It was just more of an experiment breeding breeding all these guys last time. There's enough people breeding all these fish and enough fish farms breeding these fish that I don't need to do it, but I just do it because it was a neat experiment. So before we get to the little babies, why don't we just keep on cruising through here. So this is my 72-gallon Bowfront Geophagus tank and Hemiancestrus tank and Fisher Woodcats tank. As you can see, it's not full. I'm doing a water change. This tank gets straight RO water. There it is, slowly dripping in. As you can see as well, I threw in a bunch of oak leaves today. I'm trying to bring the pH down even lower. The reason I want to bring the pH down so low is that I do have a trio of Blue Phantom Hemiancestrus in this tank, and I would like them to breed. So that's why I'm doing that. I don't know if you could see it, but there is a Fisher Woodcat jammed right in there. It looks dead. It's not dead. That's just the way they are. They're weird, weird fish. Weird. But yeah, this tank's neat. So we'll give the geos some of these mist shrimps, and we will put a chunk of zucchini in there as well. These guys really do enjoy their zucchini as well. So I'm just going to set this down for 1 sec. Okay. So again, I just drop fork in, put it right there. It's the easiest way with one hand. They're all scared now though. A lot of things going on today, big water change, and I just dumped my hand right in there. So I don't know, we'll see if they come around here. Oh, the geos are being scared. I don't know if you just seen that orange seam, an L106 orange seam jet through there. Oh, here we go, the geos are starting to come in. There they go, they're going to start sifting away. This tank's really neat to watch everybody come out of their hiding spots, nooks and crannies, and everything. I'm watching the Blue Phantom start stirring over here. Soon he'll be right out and about. The geos are really neat. They sift through the sand with their mouths. That's how they do just about everything here. The dominant male, who's behind this fish here, there he is. You can tell he's dominant. Just his fin trailers, how long they go. He's boss. He's boss of this little Geophagus. Try. We'll come back and have a look at this in a few minutes when everybody gets out on the zucchini, because I'm sure this fella few more are going to come right out in a minute. And we'll get some zucchini for the 55-gallon tank. Oops. Sorry, everybody. There we go. So obviously it doesn't take me as long to feed my fish when I'm just doing it as compared to us doing videos of doing it. While we're over here, just so they don't get forgot, I just have some male albino erratices in this tank. That's all it's in here is 4 male albino erratices because I had too many in the 180-gallon tank, which we will get to as well. But let's give these guys a quick feeding. They just get the cichlid veggie pellets. And they don't get a lot of them. They get I don't know, I put out a very small handful for them and they seem quite happy with it. More than enough for the 4 of them. And I guess while we're over here, let's do the big kahunas. This is my 180-gallon mixed African cichlid tank. This beautiful fella right here, I believe he's a hybrid, and that's why he doesn't have a female in there. He's never bred, but I just keep him because he does look nice, and I didn't know he was a hybrid when I got him. And when I found out, I just decided to keep him, and he's got a home here. He's pretty happy here, lives his life out. That's my big boss man, Venustus. He's been breeding like crazy with his 2 females lately. As you can see, they're hovering over there because he's being a jerk. And him and the Frontosa have been scrapping her out a bit lately. There's the albino erratus male I left in the tank, and there's my male Mapenga travasi, female Mapenga travasi. That's a female albino erratus with a mouthful. That's a Mapenga travasi female with a mouthful. And this right here, oh, he just took off. Let's see if he comes out. There's actually a survivor in here. There's about a ½ inch long. I don't know if you see him down there inside that cave. Looks like a Mapenga travasi fry. Oh, these guys here, he won't come out. But he's in there. I just seen him. Anyways, let's give these guys a shot. I'm gonna have to put the phone down for 1 sec. So for this tank, what I generally do is I generally offer a small handful of 3 mil pellets, and then for the big fellas that just wasn't enough for them, I offer some 6 mil pellets. See, like the big fella, he goes in and scoops one, but then he goes away because he's like, that little wheat thing wasn't even worth my time eating. So I buy this in 2.5 kilogram bags as well. These are the 6 mil pellets for the big guys. There he goes. Get something into him there. But that's our 180-gallon mixed cichlid tank. There's a baby way at the back there. I don't know if you guys just saw that. Baby's right there still. Can't believe these guys surviving with all these monsters. If I tried to catch him, I'd probably end up getting him eaten. He's doing just fine on his own. And there's one lone ancestor in here that helps keep everything nice and clean. This tank, it's got some pretty heavy filtration on it. It's got an FX6, a Marineland 360, and a full aquaponics system on top of it with a few hundred feet of pothos growing in it. So coming back to the 55-gallon tank, here's the ancestress all out, eating their zucchini now. Okay. Hello. Get this away from me again. There we go. Okay. I'll get caught up here, guys. Sorry I went off for a while there. I've been thinking about my giveaway. What if I go live and chop bunches, almost everything I have, and give it to the lucky winner? Zen, what do you think? And I'm sure Zen likes that idea. How do I add tannins? Is that what you're trying to say? Let me just check. If you're saying tannins to the water, that's usually through oak leaves and alder cones. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see you eat it too. Keep a barf bucket by you if you do try to eat it. Anyways, what do you guys think so far? I'm going to, the only ones we really got left are some of the little fellas over here. And then we'll go back and have a look at some fish that may have come out. I can see some of the long fins, where are we looking? Over there, have started to come out now. Yeah, some of the blue phantoms are starting to come out, so that's kind of neat. I'm looking over there. They're a shy fish. They're a shy fish. Yes, I do. That's all I do for oak leaves. I dry them in the fall. I harvest them and I dry them, and then that's essentially it. I don't even wash them, to be honest. I just put them in the tanks. Okay, so let's hit the. I got some neat looking guppies and little fish over here. So let's have a look at that. Put us back in the show here. Okay, so we'll grab our mist shrimps. Oh, shot back in. Blue phantoms are so shy. So shy. Alright. Let's give the guppies and ancestress a little treat up here. This is my guppy and ancestress 20-gallon cube, and I have put some of my baby barbs in there as well that have gotten big enough to go in with them. See, they're going absolutely crazy. I've put some of my black metallics in here, the males. They're starting to look pretty good. And then the rest are just some Moscow crosses that I came up with. But there are some very neat long fin ancestress in here. And we will get some food for them here as well. They do like the zucchinis. And that'll be for them when they so choose to come out. Just to give you guys an idea, here's crystal red shrimp out now on the food. Isn't that crazy? Look at all the different sizes in there. Absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. And this tank is just a couple of female black metallics, and we're just going to give them a little bit of these mist shrimps as well. I gotta set the phone down for 1 sec. And let them have a good feed. They are pregnant, so we will let them eat away. Hopefully they throw us some good offspring. I have done a video on it recently as well. And they're looking nice and healthy. Again, another tank just jammed full of plants. So this tank here, we're coming down one lower. Try to zoom in on some babies. There's a ton of babies in here, but they're incredibly hard to see. So I know there's one right there. It's behind that leaf. See him? I believe that's an Odessa barb baby. Just to put in perspective how small that is. There he is. Here's another one. I think. There he is. Another Odessa bird. I'm not sure if I got mainly Odessa barbs in this batch, but there is a lot of babies in here. They're just incredibly hard to see. And if you look from the top of the tank, you can see why. It's just full of Christmas moss, guppy grass. And I leave it this way because all the biofilm that grows on it all, they love eating it. And I very simply supplement them with a little bit of powdered food. Um, Lately I've been giving them first bites. And I don't do it. You gotta set the phone down. And literally just put some on the end of my finger. Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle through the tank. Just so wherever they are in there, hopefully they can receive some nutrition. But yeah, these are babies out of that 55-gallon tank, which is kind of neat. Let's have a look here. What's going on? Yeah, still hammering away on that zucchini. Nobody, they were out on this zucchini, but they're back in, kind of. You can get a look at that guy's horns a bit there. Pretty big fella. Everybody's getting ready to come out to eat anyways. Look out, kids. Trying to sit down, but my cat's in the way. Oh, good, she's off. So there it is, everybody. That's that's essentially it. Now we got some blue phantoms out actually. Let's just do a quick look at the blue phantoms. And oh boy, what's going on here? Sorry, I've lost my. Oh, my cam's done. That's it. We're done with it then. My cam's done. I was gonna show you is the blue phantoms that are out now, but we'll just leave it be. We've done a good live stream. This is longer than I normally go for, to be quite honest with everybody. So I hope everybody enjoyed watching how we feed all our fish here. And there's only a couple more tanks in the house. I have a marine tank. I have a marine tank upstairs, and I have my turtle tank upstairs, and one little shrimp tank upstairs. Other than that, this is all our tanks. We keep most of them down here. Yeah, it's more for ease because I have all my air supply down here, everything out, everything else. Just keeps everything super easy to actually make sure everybody's well cared for. Takes a lot of time and effort to keep a room like this going, and I try to make things as easy on myself as possible to look after it. Okay, there we go. Look, if I move, the other way. If I move, Gizmo was trying to get into a tank. But anyways, everybody, stay safe. Try not to go nuts hanging out at home if that's what you're doing. And yeah, until next time. Oh, we got some more comments. For those few people that faithfully watch me, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. And I don't know if I could do water changes, aqua balls. By the time I flood half the tanks, because I'm trying to do too many things at once, the swearing would be unbelievable. I think I'd get kicked off a live stream for that. But I don't know, aqua balls. Maybe we'll go on as guests sometime if you'd like. If you'd like to bring me on as a guest, or I could bring you on as a guest sometime, I would be into it. Hit me up, and we'll go from there. Anyways, everybody, thank you for watching. I'm signing out. Gonna go get ready for supper and continue with my water changes and stuff. Have a great day and happy fish keeping, everybody. Take care.